Those were the days when the title Prime Minister carried weight. Not just printed weight on paper, but real spoken respect. The kind of respect that even a normal person like my mum, a tutor from Kedah, would carry in her voice. I remember her stories vividly. She used to proudly tell me that Tun Dr. Mahathir orang Kedah juga, and how he and Tun Dr. Siti Hasma visited her school when she was a little girl. She didn't always agree with his policies, but never spoke ill of him or his role. To her, being prime minister was more than politics. It was duty, sacrifice, and service. Even without knowing all the details, she respected the weight of the job. Then came my turn, my generation. I never thought that pride would continue, but it did. I went to high school Bukit Mertajam, HSBM. And back then, we used to walk around proudly saying, "We're from Pak Lah's school." That's right. Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, Malaysia's 5th Prime Minister, went to the same school. There was a sense of pride we carried with that. Even though we were just teenagers, not fully politically aware, we knew enough to feel that something big was happening when he took over after Dr. Mahathir stepped down in 2003. There was fear, of course, a big one. Who could possibly fill such big shoes? But Pak Lah did, and he did it with grace. The 2004 general election was one of Malaysia's biggest wins. People celebrated together, even those who didn't support him. He was that kind of leader, calm, charismatic, and genuinely decent. And I'll never forget this. In 2015, I had the honor of interviewing him as a journalist. I was nervous. Who wouldn't be? But I told him proudly, "Tun, I'm from HSBM too." He gave me his signature Pak Lah smile. Then, like the gentleman he was, he spent the next 2 minutes interviewing me instead, asking how I was, where I worked, and how journalism was going. I was meant to ask the questions, but he was warm, gracious, and genuinely interested. By the time you read this, I'm sure many experienced journalists and editors would have already detailed his legacy, Islam Hadhari, his leadership style, his political calmness, the way he carried himself. But here's what I can offer, from a journalist who lived through the ups and downs of Malaysia's modern history. I was there when a prime minister was sent to jail. I was there when another one came back, twice. I was there when we lost one plane to mystery and another to tragedy. I was there when faith in the system wavered. And still, I remember the time when the position of prime minister wasn't a meme or a point of mockery. I remember a time when the prime minister was someone people actually wanted to listen to. Pak Lah's introduction of Islam Hadhari wasn't just a slogan. Even as a non-Muslim, I found myself curious, wanting to understand what this vision meant. It was accessible. It made sense. It was sincere. That's how much weight his words carried. And that's what we're missing today. Politics is necessary. We all know that. But it shouldn't be a game where anyone treats the prime minister's seat like a revolving door or a joke. There was a time when that seat stood for integrity, wisdom, patience, and humility. Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi was the last of that kind, a true statesman, not just a politician. He never had to raise his voice. His calmness was his strength. Agree or not, no one could deny he was, above all, a good man. One of my former editors once said, "You can never find a good man like Tun Abdullah anymore." I believe that, and I think deep down, many Malaysians do too. So here's to Pak Lah, Malaysia's father of human capital development, the prime minister who reminded us what leadership should look like, and the man who made even a small-town schoolboy like me feel proud to say, "I'm from his school." The Last of the Gentlemen, a tribute to Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi by Ashwin Kumar, was originally published on www.sinardaily.my. Visit www.sinardaily.my for more bold and unfiltered opinions.